Hello Astro Amigos, welcome back to Astrology with Ninad. A very exciting and game-changer transit is about to take place soon. A transit that can literally take the lives of some individuals from rags to riches and from riches to rags. Yes, you heard that right. Rahu, the north node of the moon, the shadow planet, the dragon's head, is going to transit in the nakshatra of Uttara Bhadrapada from July 8, 2024 onwards. And it will keep transiting in this nakshatra till March 15, 2025. So it is a long transit which can dramatically change the lives of some people for the better or worse. Nakshatra of Uttara Bhadrapada is ruled by none other than Saturn, the planet of discipline, the planet of karma. Rahu is known to act just like Saturn, but in reality, does it? Well, for one, Rahu's method of action is quite in contrast with that of Saturn. An example I can think of where Rahu might have played a big part is that of Elizabeth Holmes, the former CEO of the company Theranos. She became a billionaire like overnight in a very short time. But then there were a lot of legal issues and fraud associated with that company, which brought her downfall. And that was a major downfall where she lost all her net worth and eventually was implicated and is currently facing imprisonment. So you can see how Rahu works. But in case of Saturn, it gives slow and steady long-term success. It might not give you sudden fame, wealth, prosperity, prestige overnight, but it can set that up for you, build that base so that over a long period of time, you will achieve remarkable heights if Saturn is very good for you in your natal chart. A good example I can think of is our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. Saturn could have had a major influence in his overall political career, where he is currently serving as the PM now for the third consecutive term. So you see, Saturn gives long-lasting type of good results if it is a good Karaka and placed well in the natal chart. So in this video, I am going to exactly discuss the implications of this Rahu Nakshatra transit, because it is a very crucial transit right now, as Saturn is also transiting in its own Mool Trikona sign of Aquarius. So it can be a game changer for a lot of people. It can give amazing, fruitful, massive results. But for some people, it could go the other way. So I have posted the timestamps in the description box below for your convenience. You can click on the time that corresponds to your ascendant or moon sign and watch accordingly. So without any further delay, let's get started. For my Aries Mesh Rashi friends, Rahu is transiting in your 12th house in the Vyayasthan. But now the nakshatra activation will be of the 10th and the 11th houses, and more specifically the 11th house, because that is the Mool Trikon of Shani and Saturn is transiting right there itself. So it is excellent news for you. This transit can be a game changer if Rahu is well placed in your chart, if you are running the Rahu Mahadasha, Antardasha, because the 11th house will be strongly activated, which means fulfillment of long-term desires. And Rahu can give that suddenly overnight, because Rahu has that kind of power. It can make your long-term wishes come true. It can amplify your money flow. Naturally, money will increase, whether it's from your investments, whether it is from your career, or whether it is from any other multiple sources of income, right? Because the 10th and 11th are activated. What does that indicate? Especially if you are working in a good job and you had not got a good bonus, promotion, salary increment, that can certainly happen now. A lot of money flow is indicated from your career. So give it your best shot. Think outside the box. Be innovative. Have a creative approach in your daily job. And this transit can do wonders for you. It can raise your prestige, your image, your fame, name, everything in the society, at your workplace. People will start to cooperate with you. You will start to get the complete support of your boss, of your higher ups in achieving your long-term career goals and ambitions. Just try not to pursue any shortcuts here, right? Because again, this is the nakshatra of Saturn. So there is a good mixture of both Rahu and Saturnian energies here. So you need to utilize it correctly. And if you get sudden massive name and fame due to this transit, like you are elevated to like a CEO of a major large organization, then still be humble, still be respectful of your subordinates, treat people with kindness, so that both these energies give you abundant success for the years to come. And if you're working in a foreign country, you're settled in a foreign land, working in your job, then there is massive chance of major success that can take place, because Rahu is the natural significator, the natural karaka of foreign lands, of Videsh. So if you're already there, if you're employed in a good company, then major success can be unraveled for you. And if you're in a company and you want to change jobs, then also you can get some golden opportunities to make that switch that you had desired for a long time. Your overall social network will start to expand. It will start to grow. Your friend circle will increase. You might meet some influential people, make important contacts. If you are in the social media influencer space, you can really start to climb over your competition and start to gain more brand awareness, visibility for whatever you are doing. Overall, this is a beautiful nakshatra transit for my Aries Mesh Rasi friends. You won't get another time like this for a while. So use it to your best ability, and I wish you all the best. For my Taurus Vrushabha Rashi friends, Rahu is transiting in your 11th house in the sign of Pisces. But the nakshatra activation will be of the 9th and the 10th houses, and more specifically the 10th house, because it is the Mool Trikon of Shani, and that is where Shani is also currently transiting. It is excellent news for you, because the three most important houses, the 9th, the 10th and the 11th, which are the highest achievements of a human being, are activated. So your focus now should be completely on your career goals and ambitions. If you are working in your homeland and you had long desired to relocate to a foreign country for a good job, your dream might finally come true. Your wishes can be certainly answered. So make the best use of this golden time. Apply and give lots of interviews, because the time is ripe for you to land the dream desired job of your choice with a good multinational type of company. If you're already employed in a good company, especially in a foreign land or away from your birthplace, then there is going to be massive success for you, massive growth and rise. If you had felt stagnant for a while, things will start to slowly change for the better. Your co-workers, your colleagues will start to lend you their support. You will start to get better along with them. Your friendship, your bonding will start to increase with your colleagues. Your bosses will take notice of your hard work, of your effort, of your dedication, and you will start to get the credit, recognition, respect, and rewards for the same. So put in your 200% effort in your job, in your career, and there is going to be massive rewards for you, especially if Rahu is well placed in your chart, if Rahu is in a good nakshatra, if there are benefic aspects on Rahu, and if Rahu is especially, let's say, in your 10th or 11th house, then this transit can be a game changer for you. Literally, unexpectedly, you might get a very senior type of position in your organization. You might even get elevated to like a C-suite level position, like a chief executive officer, chief marketing officer, chief information officer, chief revenue officer, chief strategic officer. These type of positions are also going to be within your reach if you are employed in those type of companies and you have that type of skill set. So it is the time to think outside the box, because Rahu wants you to succeed, but you will need to have an innovative approach at your workspace. How you can work smarter, not harder, is the main theme here. But Rahu in your 11th, strongly activating the 10th, means a potential large bonus, a massive salary increment, or even a job transfer to a desired location can happen now. So the focus here is career, career, and career. If you don't have a job, this is a golden period for you to give lots of interviews, because with your charm, with your wit, with your humor, with your skill sets, with your talents, you can land a fantastic job that you always desired. So make the best use of it. All the very best. For my Gemini, Mithun, Rashi friends, Rahu is transiting in your 10th house, but the nakshatra activation will be of the 8th and 9th houses, but more specifically the 9th house, where it is Saturn's Mool Trikona Aquarius, and that is where Saturn is currently transiting. So this is an excellent and most auspicious nakshatra transit for you, because Rahu is first of all a very good planet for your sign. It is great friends with the ruler of your Rashi, which is Mercury, Buddhadev, and it is transiting in the Upchaya Bhava, the 10th house, a growth house, right? And it is activating the 9th house, the Bhagyastan, and your Bhagyesh is transiting in the Bhagyastan itself. So what does that imply? For one, major career growth and success can be now felt at your workplace. If things were stagnant, now Rahu will try to amplify those changes in a positive direction, right? And especially if you are working in a foreign land, or if you are situated away from your native place or from your birthplace, in a faraway place you are working, then there can be incredible success overnight. Rahu can give you what you never expected at your job. It can come in the form of a major promotion, a huge bonus, an unthinkable salary increment, a job transfer to a location that you always desired, you always wanted to work at. This is what Rahu can do for you. It can bring those exciting, innovative, new, fun changes in your daily job, in your daily work routine. You just need to flow with the Rahu energy. You need to start to think outside the box. You need to think creatively on how you can add value to your projects, to your team, to your duties, because have no surprise, have no wonder that your bosses will start to notice the way that you are working smarter, not harder, and you will naturally get the major rewards for it. You will get immeasurable success that you never dreamed of. You might be working in a very basic position, but with your innovative skill sets, with your talents, with your hidden talents and skills, with your innovative way of thinking, outside the box thinking, with your logical, analytical approach, you can be elevated to a very high position in a very short time. This is the Rahu impact. And your Saturn is there in the Bhagyastan, where the ninth is strongly activated to support your destiny, to support your luck factor for the long run. And as I mentioned before, if you play with the Saturnian energies, not take any shortcuts, not take any immoral ways to achieve your career goals and ambitions, then Saturn will give you the long-term success, growth, prosperity, and stability that you always desired. So utilize these beautiful energies in the right way, the Rahu and Saturn energy, and you will be shocked as to how much your life can change for the better. All the very best. For my Cancer Karka Rashi friends, Rahu is transiting in your 9th house, but the nakshatra activation will be of the 7th and the 8th houses, but more specifically the 8th house. That is where Saturn's Mool Trikon is, and that is where Shani Dev is currently transiting. So what does that mean for you? Well, there can be sudden, unexpected, major flow of money that can come your way. It could be through inheritance, through your investments, through insurance, through your spouse, through your in-laws, through any legacies, through any kind of sale of property or vehicle, something that you never expected, but maybe it just happens the very last minute, out of the blue. Because 8th house is strongly activated here and Rahu is activating, right? But for that to happen, for sudden inflow of major money to come your way, you have to have Rahu very well placed in your natal chart, like extremely well placed, because Rahu is not the best planet for your sign, as it is great enemies with Moon, which rules your sign. So let's say if it is placed extremely well in your chart, Saturn is also very well placed in your chart, in good nakshatras, in good bhavas, then there can be this sudden, unexpected major flow of money, even through lottery. But Saturn's influence is on the 8th house, so try not to take any shortcuts, avoid gambling, avoid betting, avoid making risky financial investments, because there is always a chance of major loss. Because with Rahu, as I explained before, it can give suddenly, but it can take that away just with a snap, right? Like the snap of Thanos. It can disappear within a fraction of a second, because Rahu is finally a mirage. Rahu is not actually present in the sky. It is a shadow planet. It is a point in the solar system, right? So you have to be a bit cautious when it comes to your finances. But if you make major money during this time, try not to again reinvest that back in like stock market or cryptocurrency or any kind of risky investment. Instead, save that money in a long-term, safe, stable investment. But Rahu's placement in the Bhagyastan and activating the 8th house mainly indicates sudden gains or losses. And those people in the field of research, investigation can make a sudden major discovery which can change the lives of many people. So it can be quite an interesting transit for my Cancer Karka Rashi friends, and I wish you all the best. For my Leo Simha Rashi friends, Rahu is transiting in your 8th house, But the nakshatra activation is of the 6th and the 7th houses. But more specifically, the 7th house, due to the Mool Trikon of Aquarius impacting that house, and Saturn, Shani Dev also transiting right there itself. So what does that imply? Well, Rahu in the 8th, what can it do? It can give sudden major inflow of money, or it can give sudden losses. Now it all depends on how Rahu is placed in your chart, the nakshatra placement, how Saturn is placed in your chart, the nakshatra placement, if they are receiving benefic or malefic aspects. The whole game depends on that. But purely looking at these two houses, I can say that there could be massive flow of money, massive profits, increased revenue beyond expectation from your business activities. If you are running a business, or if you are in a business partnership with someone, there could be sudden, unexpected, major profits, revenues from your business area. It could even be new business deals, lucrative projects. You might think about sudden business expansion. But the reverse can also be true. Rahu can lead you to taking the wrong decisions that can be catastrophic for your business, for your business partnership. It can even try to break your business partnership. So it all again depends upon your natal birth chart. But here, since Saturn is in its Mool Trikon, Aquarius, it is well placed. It is right now in a good nakshatra as well of Jupiter. The chance of business expansion, profitability, growth is largely senior, and it can be unexpected. Your products might just, go crazy. One day you might, be selling your products, and one day the demand for it just surges. It rises beyond expectations, and then everyone is wanting your products or wanting your services. So it is this kind of transit. In terms of marriage as well, there can be major profits from your marriage. For some people who might get married, that marriage can be very rewarding in the long run. But again, the opposite can also be true due to Rahu being in the 8th house. And Rahu is finally a very hard to decipher planet, because it is not actually there in the sky. It is a point. It is a shadow planet. It is a Rakshasa Graha. So it is hard to really interpret how it can act. Sometimes it can do exceptionally well. Sometimes it can do the opposite. So for single people, take your time. If you want to get married, there might be a lot of new opportunities that might come your way, that might open up. Get to know that person well. Make sure the horoscopes match, and it can be quite rewarding in the long run for you from all the angles. So overall, an interesting and unique transit of nakshatra activation of Rahu for my Leo friends, and I wish you all the best. For my Virgo Kanya Rashi friends, Rahu is transiting in your 7th bhava, and its nakshatra activation will be of the 6th house, because Shani is right there itself. So what can this imply? Well, for one, Rahu is known to always give good results of the 6th house, it being a Upchaya bhava. So naturally, you might think of taking some new loans around this time, and for the most part, it can be good in the long run, as long as you have a strategic approach to whatever loan you're taking it for, whether it is for starting a new business, whether it is for buying something like a property, a vehicle, or any kind of project. You have to do your due diligence, research, and careful analysis, because Saturn's energy is also in play here, and Saturn is the slowest moving planet. So you need to inculcate both those type of energies to get the best results. If you already have a lot of loans, then I will recommend not to take new loans around this time. Instead, think creatively, think outside the box on how you can pay off those loans and become debt free. If you are struggling from any health issues, then Rahu can give you the necessary solutions to tackle those health issues and become healthy and fit, as that is what everyone desires. There is a good chance that you might now find strategic ways on how you can defeat your competition, how you can rise on top in especially your job or your business area. Because 6th house deals with enemies, it deals with competition. So use the Rahu and Saturn energies in the right way. Do not do anything unethical. And that way, with careful, strategic, outside the box, innovative thinking, you will be able to silence your enemies in the right way, defeat your competition, and create more brand awareness for yourself, more visibility in the business sphere. And if you are in a daily job and if there were some people bothering you, then also they will stop to trouble you due to this beautiful nakshatra activation of Rahu. Just again, avoid office politics, gossiping, getting into unnecessary arguments, disputes with anyone, and use a slow, careful, methodical approach just like Saturn, and you will be rewarded. All the very best. For my Libra, Tula, Rashi friends, Rahu is transiting in your 6th bhava, a very good placement, and the nakshatra activation will be also quite beneficial because it will be the 5th house, also the 4th, but mainly the 5th because of Saturn's current transit and its Mool Trikona Aquarius. So what does that imply for you? Well, for one, you could benefit from massive profit from your past investments, more specifically speculative investments. If you had invested in the right way, there can be enormous profit during this nakshatra activation. But again, speculation is always risky. There are two sides to a coin. So if Rahu is not well placed in your chart, it is afflicted in any way whatsoever. If Saturn's afflicted, then there could be major financial losses as well. So you need to be careful with your money, with how you invest. Use good money management skills so that you won't be disappointed. If you are single, then there is a great chance of suddenly meeting someone new and getting into a relationship because Rahu's energy is very sudden. And since it is in the 6th house, it could be a new co-worker that enters your workspace, that enters your organization, and you two just hit it off, and the feelings are mutual and a new relationship starts. Because Rahu is in the 6th and it is activating the 5th house of love and romance. So good news for single people who are truly desiring a new relationship. If they are working in a good company, they could potentially meet their future partner there. Right? And Rahu in the 6th, activating the 5th, it also indicates that if you have any children, right? If you have any children, then it is a great time to improve your bonding with them. Spend a lot of time, go outdoors, go and do some adventures, go on hiking, play some sports, keep yourself busy. Spend as much time as you can with your children, as that will help to dramatically improve the relationship with them. So overall, the nakshatra activation of Rahu is looking good for my Libra friends, and I wish you all the best. For my Scorpio, Vrischika Rashi friends, Rahu is transiting in your 5th house, but the nakshatra activation will be of the 3rd and the 4th house. But more specifically, the 4th house, due to Saturn's Mool Trikona and the current transit of Shani Dev. So what does that indicate for you? What can this transit give you, or what can it take? Well, for one, Rahu, as I said before, is a planet, is a graha that can give sudden, overnight, unexpected wealth, profit. right? But Saturn is ruling your fourth house of property, of real estate. So what does that signify? When the fourth is activated and these two planets are well placed in your natal chart in good nakshatras, in good houses, with benefic aspects, not under malefic influence, then there could be a massive profit, a major money flow that can come your way through sale of property, through sale of real estate. Maybe you have multiple or several houses and some of them are old, but you just want to now sell those. Then there can be major profit, because Saturn also represents old things. It is kind of a very conservative planet. It represents traditional things. So especially the sale of older property can yield major profits, major revenues for those people, especially in commercial real estate type of property development or sale of property. Even for those individuals who, let's say, have like a vintage car, right? Like an old vintage car that can appreciate like anything and can get you or fetch you a really good sum of money, a good sum of profit. Because antique kind of things here will be greatly appreciated and rewarded. So if you have any kind of vintage antique things in your home, whether it is any kind of furniture, whether it is any kind of books, whether it is any cars or your property itself, then there could be some major gain for you on the cards. But if these grahas are not well placed in your chart, they are malefic, then you have to maintain caution and avoid selling any of this at this point. So overall, it can be an amazing transit for some individuals, and for some other individuals, it might not be the most ideal. So I wish you all the very best and thanks for watching. For my Sagittarius Dhanu Rashi friends, Rahu is transiting in your fourth house, but the nakshatra activation will be of the second and third house. More specifically, the third house, due to Saturn's Mool Trikon and Saturn's current transit. So what does that imply for you? If you are looking to sell your property, if you are looking to buy a new property, if you are looking to buy a new car or sell your car for a profit, then do a lot of research. Put in the hard work, effort, parakram needed to be successful in being able to convert everything to profit that you sell. So your research, your time, effort, knowledge, subject matter expertise, all this will be counted due to the third house strongly activated. So if you have a goal, if you have a dream, do not back down from it. Be brave, be courageous, be confident in your own ability, in your skills. Have some patience and you can be majorly rewarded, especially in the home and real estate area, in the vehicle area. But for that, again, your natal birth chart placements of these two planets, their nakshatra placements, their dispositor planets, their benefic or malefic influence on these grahas, the signs they are placed in, all this also has to be accounted for, because Rahu is in the fourth and Rahu is Brahm, it is Maya, it is illusion, it is a mirage. So it can cause you to take the wrong decisions as well concerning home purchase, selling of property, buying a new car. So research, and research. Doing your proper homework, doing your due diligence is of essence here. All the very best. For my Capricorn Makar Rashi friends, Rahu is transiting in your third house, but the nakshatra activation will be of the second due to Saturn's Mool Trikona Aquarius and the current transit of Shani Dev itself in the sign of Aquarius in the second house and Rahu also co-rules the second bhava. So lot of influence is impacting your Dhanasthan, which is great news for you because Rahu is an amplifier and it can amplify your finances, your bank balance, your money flow, your gains from multiple sources of income can be now realized because the Lord of the second Saturn is also strongly transiting in the second house itself, and that too in an auspicious nakshatra of Jupiter, which represents expansion in a way. Saturn is contraction, but still with its nakshatra placement, it also has the ability to give more than what it did before. And Rahu is now amplifying your second house, which means you can see unprecedented financial growth, more financial stability. Your bank balance can grow like anything. Your accumulated assets, your wealth, your liquid cash can massively increase now, right? But for some people, let's say who don't have strong placements of these two planets, then there is a chance of massive drain on your finances as well. So that cannot be ignored. It all depends on how financially wise, how financially prudent you are. Use good money management techniques, utilize these energies properly, do not take any shortcuts, do not engage in any unethical, illegal activities because Saturn is also watching. Saturn is the police here. So follow the right path because Rahu sometimes has the ability to lure people into taking the wrong, unethical path, which can lead to further destruction. So utilize these energies correctly. Be a outside the box thinker. Be an innovator. Think smart. You don't need to work hard. You have to think smarter. You have to work smarter. And especially concerning your finances, on how you can utilize these beautiful energies and convert things to profit. If you have any old things lying about your house, any vintage things, you can sell those for a profit, right? Because Saturn represents old things. It is a traditional planet. And since the second house is activated here, you could get lots of money from selling antique or vintage items. So I'm just giving you some examples on how you can creatively think of ways to sell some things that you don't no longer need, you no longer have attachment to, and you can profit off that. You can even make a lot of money from your past investments, from sudden unexpected legacies, inheritance, insurance. All this can happen. But again, be careful. Do not make risky financial speculative investments if especially your natal birth chart does not support that. Then you have to be ultra cautious. But overall, generally speaking, just looking purely at these two planets, the nakshatra activation, the financial area is going to be strongly highlighted and you can possibly make lots and lots of money. All the very best. For my Aquarius Kumbha Rashi friends, Rahu is transiting in your second house, but the nakshatra activation will be of the 12th and the first house, more specifically the first house, the ascendant, the Lagna. Due to the Mool Trikon sign of Aquarius, Saturn's current transit, and Rahu Dev is also known to co-rule the sign of Aquarius. So what does that imply? It can imply sudden, unexpected, major fame, major prestige, rise in reputation in the society, at your workplace, in your family. Because Rahu is finally a mirage. It is an illusion. So sometimes the saying, fake it till you make it goes. Rahu can do exactly that for you. It can basically create such an image of you everywhere that people are mesmerized. People are attracted to your persona, to your charming personality, to your outside the box thinking ability, to your skills and talents, to your leadership skills, to your innovative thinking ability. This is what Rahu can do for you. So utilize these energies correctly, because Saturn is an air planet. It is in the sign of Aquarius, which is an air sign. Rahu is also an airy planet, and it is strongly activating your ascendant. So the main focus here is thinking creatively, thinking outside the box, because Rahu defies tradition. Rahu is not a conservative planet. How you can get success in your business, in your workplace, is to think outside the box, think creatively. Try not to go in an unethical manner in whatever ambition or goal that you are pursuing, but just think on how you can do things differently, because that is what will get you noticed. That is what will get you the rewards. That will create the fulfillment of your desires, whether it is your career, whether it is your business, whether it is working on any dream project of yours. So this Rahu Nakshatra activation should be good for the most part. So use it to your advantage. Think outside the box. All the very best. For my Pisces Meen Rashi friends, Rahu is transiting in your ascendant, but the Nakshatra activation will be of the 11th and the 12th houses. More specifically, the 12th house, the Vyastan, because Saturn's Mool Trikon Aquarius is there, and Saturn is also transiting in the 12th house itself, and Rahu is also known to co-rule the sign of Aquarius. So what does that imply for you? Well, for one, Rahu is a planet that naturally represents foreign lands, right? Far distance land, the west part of the world. So let's say if you are in the east part, and if you had always desired to work in a foreign country, in the west, if you had desired to start a new business, if you had desired to move with your family, then finally it could fructify for you. Your long-term desires, your wishes can be fulfilled in regards to relocation area to the west, to the foreign land, because finally the dispositor of the 12th house Saturn is also placed there, right? It is strongly transiting in its own house, own sign. So now if you are in a job, you could maybe ask your superiors if you can get your job transferred to the desired location in a foreign country, because your chance of success will be higher there. Your chance of achieving your ambitions, your objectives, your goals, whether related to your education, higher education, to your career, to your business, it will be better off in a foreign country. And if you're already there, then there could be enormous growth, success, prosperity, abundance overnight that can take place if you are in a job, if you are doing your own business, if you're an entrepreneur. You can have massive overnight success overseas. If you're doing any type of even import export business, then also you could see increased revenues, maximized profits, and overall expenses can also go down with your strategic thinking ability. But on the flip side, Rahu can sometimes cause you to taking the wrong decisions. It can create a lot of unnecessary expenses, extravagant expenses. So use the Saturn energy here. Think straight. Take any decision with patience. Do your proper due diligence, research and homework. Make sure your natal birth chart, placements, Mahadasha, Antaradasha, all these support you when you take any major important decision concerning your finances, concerning a career switch, concerning starting something new like a business, concerning getting married, concerning going on long distance travel, vacation, journeys, doing whatever that you are planning to. Becoming more spiritual, religious, doing yoga, meditation, vipassana, spending more time in nature. will be extremely beneficial here. So I wish you all the very best and I thank you for watching.